Hello and welcome to a very special episode today. Uh, you might be wondering, if you're not in the know, what makes this episode so special? This is the 11th. What the? I just liked. Um, this is only the 11th episode. Leech, why would this one be so special? Well, you see, today is February 14th, Valentine's Day. I'm going to be very busy today. Not because I have a Valentine. No, I'm single. I'm very single. Um, but because I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff today. The roads might be a mixture of both really crazy and really not crazy because people are going to be during the rush hour times, way more on the road because they're trying to get to the reservations, right? Some people be having stuff at home, so I'm going to be door dashing. Also, lots of single people don't want to go outside. So that's great. It's great that it falls on a Saturday this year for both single people and people in relationships. But, and let me take a sip of my coffee first. Let me, hold on. Hmm. Sorry, this is the perfect moment to take my medication and my vitamins. Alright, sorry for that delay. I'm about to swallow vitamins, I swear. Alright, alright. Oh, it's making my ear tingle at the inside of my left ear. Ooh. Um, so aptly today we're going to talk about relationships. And since you might know me from, because I have three videos of Minecraft and Universe that popped off. Um, part two of when Leech gets political, which is really weird because you're missing the context from part one. Go watch part one and then watch part two. Um, the video about Minecraft and the video about women. More interested in us guys, huh? Just want to know about women. Well, this is also going to be kind of about women, but it's also going to be about men. But this is another situation where there's a disproportionate amount of another gender that is overrepresented in this sort of demographic. And that is that dating is a problem right now, guys. I have heard the horror stories, and I have engaged in the dating realm a little bit myself. And it is a nightmare. People people mature so slowly these days, and they get caught up in these extremely dumb TikTok sort of trends for relationships. Let me tell you, if there's anything that should be immune from, what do you call that? From trends, it should be dating. Dating should have never adapted or changed to modern sensibilities, really. Like, maybe adapt, but never change. Never truly change. And for a long time, it kind of didn't change. You know, you found a pretty girl, or you saw a handsome guy, and you asked him somewhere. You, you said, hey, I want to get coffee sometime. Would you like to go to dinner with me? Uh, Stuff like that. Would you like to go to the park? You know, you give them little obvious questions that show interest without straight up asking them out on a date. Like, hey, do you want to go out on a date? Now, you could also do that, but it's very forward. And not everyone responds well to being forward, right? But we're at the point where we don't do that anymore, really. Instead, it's replaced by situationships and talking phases. Like, my homie, the dating is the talking phase. Like, hello? I mean, this is probably where I'm going to get called old again. Well, that's cool. Hmm. You know, where people are going to say, oh, you're just an oldie. Look at the old man with his old traditional values. Everyone point and laugh at the old man. Um, but seriously, like, it's ridiculous. You shouldn't be talking to someone for multiple months before you start dating them. Dating is the talking phase. That is how it has always been. Because here's the thing, when you make dating no longer the talking phase, you make dating a high commitment relationship. And the problem is it's not treated that way. It's still treated the same way, where it is a low commitment relationship. And it's just this sort of cognitive dissonance that makes no sense. That is a zombie. Hold on. Um, but yes, you create this extreme cognitive dissonance in our culture that just makes no sense. Like, I think we as a culture are being straight up ridiculous. Uh, Dating has gotten completely out of hand. And now you might be thinking now, what's the problem here, all right? It's just dating. You know, it's nothing serious. What do you mean it's nothing serious, my guy? We're talking about union between people here. This isn't something to be taken lightly. This is big. This is huge. This is important. And people need to start taking it as that. People need to stop pretending that all of this isn't important. You're not nihilists. Stop pretending. Like, everyone acknowledges that, the world, the universe, it all has meaning, and there's things that you're supposed to do, right? There's just things that you're supposed to do. And getting married is kind of one of those things. Being in a relationship. Now, this isn't everybody's thing. There are people who I genuinely think they're not born for it. They are, I mean, the Bible literally says that there are people who are like this, who are basically natural born eunuchs. People who have, oaths of chastity and are bound to never have children, things like that. I've met some people like that. I've met people who are natural born eunuchs. The problem is when you, as not one of those, try to force yourself to be it, and then you get really unhappy, and then you start thinking, well, why am I so unhappy? It's because you denied yourself your purpose. We have a problem of purpose in this country, in our culture more specifically. And dating has suffered. Courtship has suffered. It's superficial, it's fake. No one. It's all about swiping and likes in a sense. We've literally turned society into a rewards-based system. If you're good looking and you got money and you got all these things, like it's based off of what you have. That's not love. People don't understand the reason that God's love is perfect is because it is a love that stays. A love that stays is a perfect love. That's not to say that you should always stay no matter what. I think most people can think of a couple instances where staying would not be a good idea. But it's not about that. It's about having a good relationship, and then stay. I needed to grab the glass while I was there. Oops. Imagine this scenario, right? Imagine you're whatever gender you are, whatever age you are. Say you've never, and I mean never, had a good relationship before. But then you get with this one person, and they are wonderful. They're not without flaw, but they're oh. Well, here's my glass production. I'm pretty sure that destroyed some of it too. Scared the crap out of me, by the way. It's actually part of the why where at one point I actually considered putting this on peaceful mode, but that's not authentic. That's not authentic, and this is supposed to be authentic. Every part of the series is 100% authentic. That's the whole point. Uh, right back to it. Okay. Okay. See, that was not even my fault that I'm losing track. Now it's literally the game doing it. Okay, okay, guys, come on. Come on. Come on. Look at me in the eyes and tell me that this is my fault. Like, you can't. You just can't. Well, maybe you can, but you're a douchebag if you do. Um, okay, right. The scenario. And they're wonderful, they're amazing, they have a few flaws. And you think to yourself, now what should I do about these flaws? Right? Now, a rational person, who's thinking logically will be like, this is the best relationship I've ever been in. I should do everything in my power to make sure this relationship lasts and doesn't just fall apart, right? Right? And that would be reasonable to think, right? Most people would think that, in fact. Um, but that's not necessarily true either. Not most people would think that. Nowadays, like you would actually more commonly hear if say I don't know, say your significant other has a jealousy problem. Say you're a woman and I know none of you are. You're all dudes. Come on, let's be honest. Let's be honest. Um, let's say you're a woman and or even fine, we'll adapt this to guys a little bit. Say you're a guy and your girl is jealous. Like really jealous. Maybe not like really jealous, like not all the time, but they're jealous. They're jealous of like a specific person, or even just people in general, like of the opposite gender being close to you. Now, for a decent chunk of the population, we find this pretty reasonable because it's kind of natural. Of course, you're gonna want all of your partner's attention. Uh, like you don't want to share your partner's attention with members of your same sex. Like men don't want to have to um what do you call that? We don't have to compete. We don't want to compete with other men for our girlfriend's attention. No man wants that. No man wants that. Zero. Even the ones who are okay with their girlfriend, like, having, like, friendships with men and stuff like that, they're not okay with their girlfriend putting in more time or, like, putting in so much time that it feels like competition. No man wants that. And that's what women don't understand, is that it feels like we have to compete. When you put too much emotional and time investment into another man. And as men, it's the same way. No woman wants to compete with another woman for your attention, guys. It's really that fucking simple. I'm gonna have to censor that. But it is really that simple. And people just can't get it into their mind that jealousy is normal. Yeah, you heard that right. That is probably one of the hotter takes I'll have for you here on this channel. Jealousy is completely normal. Our God is a jealous God. Jealousy is not inherently evil. Murder is inherently evil, but jealousy isn't. And yet people treat jealousy like it's abuse, like it's the worst thing you can be. Like, jealousy is this big, horrible thing. Don't get me wrong, it's very embarrassing to be jealous. But there's nothing wrong with being jealous. There's nothing immoral about being jealous. There is something immoral about being envious. Because here's the thing, there's jealousy and envy, and here's how I generally define jealousy and envy. Jealousy is the desire to want something completely to yourself and what do you call that? Have a distaste, usually a strong distaste, for sharing that thing. Right? So like a partner, right? Something Jealousy is usually something that belongs to you already in some way. Well, envy is desiring what other people have. It's wanting things that don't belong to you, but belong to other people. And it's not even necessarily just simply wanting it, it's being upset with that person for having it when you don't. Like, here's an example. Valentine's Day is a big one. A lot of people get pretty envious of people in relationships, right? They want a relationship and they're like, I want what you have. And you know what? I've been like that too. I've been like that too. I am not a sinless man. Many a sin I have committed. And that's okay. You know? We are all paid for and saved by a just, righteous, and loving God. Mm. And this God has told us that he is jealous. He's jealous that we worship other gods because our worship belongs to him alone. Just like how your opposite gender interaction belongs to your partner alone. Uh, uh, yeah, you know I'm cooking now. Forcing your partner to share attention with other members of the opposite gender is abuse. I'm just gonna say it. It's domestic abuse. Yeah, there we go. There's another hot take you're gonna hear on this channel. I think a lot of the ways that people interact nowadays are straight up abusive. I think that we straight up abuse each other on the daily, regularly, and that we do nothing about it because it's become so institutionalized within our culture to enact on these abuses towards each other. Mm. We have done our species a complete and utter injustice. Honestly, I'm kind of at the point where I'm getting a little bit like doomer pilled, guys. Like, what are we doing? Like, it's starting to become like that kind of, maybe humanity dying off wouldn't be such a bad thing sort of thought. It's not a good thought. It's a bad thought. But you start thinking that when you start looking at the world, man. It's like, oh my gosh, this place is terrible. Get me out of here. This is a wicked place. And we have institutionalized within our cultural institutions abuse. partner abuse, domestic abuse. And then we start acting all surprised when domestic abuses happen. Like, my God, you normalized it. We've normalized domestic abuse. That is possibly one of the spiciest takes I could have on modern society. I genuinely believe this, that modern society has normalized domestic abuse and has weaponized it against the people. I believe that these domestic abuses are weaponized against us to keep us really stupid, for one, and to keep us divided. Mm. They don't want us to have flourishing, prosperous unions with each other. They want us to have strife and conflict, divide and conquer. Mm. That's what they want. They want to destroy us as a culture and as a species. Now, you might be sinking. Sinking? You might be sinking. I really hope you're not sinking. But you might be thinking to yourself, now, Jane. Oh, I'm lagging really bad. Okay, so I guess it's my keyboard again. My keyboard's having that stupid problem again. I really need to get a new wireless keyboard. Uh, oh, I think I need to update my driver. It's the wireless driver. Never mind, that's why. Um, oop, sorry, that's very distracting. It's just started like pausing myself. So basically, we have an extremely immature culture that doesn't understand love, it doesn't understand relationships, and yet it proclaims itself to have the best advice, to be doing the best. Uh, this generation is kind of a disgrace when it comes to dating. And by kind of, I mean very much so. Uh, I think this goes back. You can market thanks to our good, not so much friends, the millennials. Thank you guys. What the heck? Oh, it uncrouched me. Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, I love that my keyboard is now lagging and not receiving inputs properly. That's awesome. But yes, we have very immature, uh, basically just grown children running around thinking they understand relationships when they don't. Let me tell you another spicy take of mine. Your experience, in quotes, in relationships, because you had relationships, doesn't matter. Oh yeah, definitely gonna make some people mad with that one. Some people will get mad at that if you say that around them. Yep, all of those previous relationships you've had, kaput. No one cares. Nobody cares. It shows is that you're a failure. That you failed multiple times. Or that your other partner failed multiple times. And if you have a track record of failed relationships, you know, there's a sort of a common thread there, and you have to figure out, is it you? Are you doing something? Are you grabbing certain people that make these relationships fail? Basically, what I'm saying is, when you look at your life and you think to yourself, where are all the good X gender? Take a look at yourself. Look in the mirror and say, what have you done to encourage the good members of X gender? You know, of this or that gender. What have you as a woman done to help men be good men. What have you done? Now, if your response to that is that's sexist, you are the problem. Where have all the good men gone? They're single. They're playing They're playing Minecraft and lagging apparently. Getting input lag. We love input lag. You see, they're at home. They're working every day. They're playing video games. They're having input lag. That's like really terrible. It's awful. It's so bad. It's so bad. You don't know how this feels. I was playing with this last night. I swear it just like it happened randomly. I used to deal with this all the time, but now I just hold on. I think it might be running out of battery. I'm gonna try putting in new batteries. But we genuinely have people who will end relationships and then not give a reason. You gotta give your partner a reason, by the way, when you break up with them. And it has to be like a good reason, because if you're just like, and now this has happened to me, guys, it's just how I feel. Nobody asked that, bro. Like, hello? I didn't ask how you felt. I'm asking why are you doing something so stupid? Why are you ditching? Why are you bailing, That sort of question. Because that's the reasonable question to ask. Why are you leaving? When you said that you'd stay. And, man, they just can't answer. When they know that they're the problem, they can't give an answer. Because here's the thing, if I were to break up with someone because, say I can't handle their jealousy, say that it's just too much for me to handle, I'll say, you're just too jealous. I can't with it, right? I've tried working with you and you refuse to help. You don't do anything, all you do is you act jealous, you get mad at me, you yell at me, etc., etc., like that, like that. That is a good example. Sorry, I was looking for, I swear I have like unplaced blocks hanging out somewhere. No, I guess not. Oh, this is why. But, or even like you're super manipulative. Every time I want to do something, you always have to do this or that, and blah 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 blah. There's reasons. You can gather reasons to break up with somebody. It's not impossible. Let's grow up a little bit, guys. It's pretty easy to have a justifiable reason to break up with somebody. You just have to frickin' try. You have to actually put in that effort to figure out there's a good reason. And if you're figuring out if it's a good reason, it's rushing, you're not gonna figure it out. You're gonna be left lost. And it's just one of those things where it's like, and you can't do that and then act like you're gonna miss them. You know what I mean? Like, you can't ditch somebody without giving them a reason why they're being ditched, right? Why they're being abandoned by you, why you're giving up on them. You can't not give them a reason and then on your socials post how much you miss them, basically, without saying it. You post some like poem about how it hurts and how you miss them and how you can't have them, and it's like, you could have. I'm also gonna have to censor that. I'm gonna have to this is one of the few videos I'm actually gonna have to censor myself on because I have sworn multiple times. Which means I don't think I can release this immediately. I'm gonna have to edit it. I don't have a whole lot of time to do that. Um, but yes, remember when you make a decision, you make that decision. No one else did. No one forced you to make that decision. And when you break up with somebody, you gotta stand by the decision. If you're torn up about it, like genuinely, hear me out. If you are torn up about whether or not to break up with your significant other, it probably is your conscience telling you to not. Now, people often have very guilty consciences, and I understand that. I have one myself, so we just kind of get overly guilty over things. But generally speaking, that's probably your conscience trying to tell you to stop. And people just. What I want you to learn from this episode, alright? The hope is that you have taken this simple lesson away. That is that modern dating is a sham. It is the worst of shams. Your situationship is not normal. You know, your long, drawn out 5-month talking phase is not normal. These things that we participate in as a society now are not normal. These are new creations by modern nonsense meant to keep you habitually unhappy. Make you unhappy forever. To keep you separated from each other. To prevent you from having prosperous unions with each other. Because they don't want you to get married and have a family. Because if you do, you're not going to vote for them. Yep, we're getting in that territory. It is a bit conspiratorial, what I'm talking about here, but it's true. If you check, politically speaking, all of these politicians never do anything to help incentivize having good relationships with people. It's always division. They're always inciting division, and it is no different in the dating realm. Reject the divisionist agenda, all right? You need to love each other. It is what we are commanded to do as Christians, is to love one another. Don't love them with part of your heart. Love them with all of your heart. Don't withhold your love. When you love someone, give them your heart. Don't wait 6 months of talking, of having a talking phase where you both know you are romantically interested in each other. Date, for God's sake. If not for your sake, then for God's sake, please. You are killing yourself. You are destroying yourself. I probably shouldn't have said you are that, but you are hurting yourself. You are doing yourself an injustice. You are oppressing yourself by denying yourself happiness. Stop. Stop denying yourself happiness, people. And I know I'm talking to an audience of 3, maybe. But I'm serious. I'm dead freaking serious. Stop denying yourself happiness. It is achievable. Reach out and grab it. Stop denying people. Stop protecting yourself so much. There are people out there who wants to love you. And there are people out there who you are going to want to love. So stop. Just stop what you're doing. Because it's not working. Because you're unhappy. Because you're unsatisfied. And you'll never reach satisfaction at this rate. And yes, it is your fault. Because you have bought into the lies. Every lie cannot stand if you shine the truth on it. Shine the truth on the lies. That is our sacred charge. That is what we're supposed to be doing. Don't stop. Keep fighting. The devil is in the details, and he is in our culture, and he's in our chambers of, he's in the Senate, he's in the House, he's in the seat of the presidency. And I'm not making a political statement about Donald Trump. I'm saying that he is everywhere, manipulating everyone and working on everyone, trying to make this world evil, trying to turn this world against God and away from God in hopes that he can win. The devil doesn't care about you. All he cares about is winning against God. Are you just going to be the devil's plaything? His little soldier? His loyal little simp? Or are you going to resist? Are you going to resist? Or are you going to fight the devil's influence on our modern culture? This is a serious question. As Christians, this is a very serious topic. The devil has not disappeared. Demons have not disappeared. They're still here. They've always been here. Since the fall. Since before the fall. And they'll continue to be here. With their goal to be an active and eternal rebellion against God until God comes again. To end it all. Once and for all. When Jesus comes back, then the demon's days will be numbered. But as of now, we will not know when that day is coming. But it's coming. And you better hope you're ready for when it comes. This has been a very serious episode. This has been Leech, and I am signing off.